Welcome, fellow Fusionaires! Character King here today with a video that's a little different than my other ones. I'm going to be doing a box review on a few of the archetypes. First off, I'm going to do Malefics and a deck profile for them. I'm going to be doing Rainbow Dragon support and just talking a little bit about it. And then I'm going to be doing DDDs and then a deck profile for DDDs of basically how I think they're going to be played. First off, we have Malefics. You get very big monsters with this deck. Basically, Malefic Paradox Gear is one of the newer cards released in the TCG. And this card makes the whole deck run, basically. You want to see this in every opening hand. You want to see this and Malefic Territory in all of your opening hands. Basically, his effect is if you have a field spell, or actually I'm going to go over the Malefics first. Malefics are basically big monsters based on monsters we already have, mostly. And all their effects are basically you can only control one Malefic monster on your field. No other monster can attack if you have this card on the field. And if you have no field spell, this card is destroyed. So they have a lot of restrictions, but they're very easy to summon. You summon them by banishing their counterpart. So for Stardust Dragon, you would banish a Stardust Dragon. Malefic Paradox Gear kind of circumvents that, because basically this card has it where you contribute this card to special summon a Malefic Parallel Gear, which is their tuner. And then you can also search a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand. This strategy has it where you either can search out your Malefic Stardust Dragon to Synchro summon into your Malefic Paradox Dragon, Malefic Rainbow if you decide, or usually what I think this deck would go into is Malefic Truth Dragon, because basically if you have Malefic Truth Dragon and any of your other Malefic monsters are destroyed when he is in your hand or graveyard, you can pay half your life points, special summon him, and he's a 5,000 attack monster with 5,000 defense. And he has the effect where if you destroy an opponent's monster by battle with this card, destroy all of their other monsters. Usually if you have territory, the effect will be negated, but it's still there if you just open with Malefic World. So basically, Malefic Paradox Gear, besides having the searching the tuner and a Malefic monster, has the graveyard effect, where if you want to summon a Malefic monster from your hand, you can banish him from either the field or the graveyard to make that cost up. So basically, I can summon Rainbow Dragon without running Rainbow Dragon, and I can summon the Stardust Dragon without using a Stardust Dragon in my extra deck. I'm running two, because there's not too many other options to go to, and if you don't open Malefic Paradox Gear, you still want to be able to summon your Malefic monster. So besides that, you have the tuner, which basically says when this card is used as Synchro material, the other Synchro material must be one Malefic monster in your hand. So it won't be able to use the field when he's being used as Synchro material, unless his effects are negated by a card like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, in which case you can then use the field. So basically, Malefic Stardust Dragon doesn't have Stardust Dragon's effect. He's just 2,500 attack. All he does. Pretty simple for it. You only have one of him unless you have territory, which I'll go over in a minute. Rainbow Dragon, same thing, 4,000 attack. That's why you run one. You prefer the level 8 because you can Synchro summon to a 4,000 attack monster with 4,000 defense, which Rainbow Dragon does not have. But you have the option of having both of them in the deck. Malefic Truth Dragon, any Malefic monster destroyed by battle or card effect does not have to be your opponent, so you can destroy it yourself. So if a Malefic Paradox Gear is a Malefic monster, Paradox, Parallel, both, any one of your monsters destroyed, he can summon from hand or graveyard. Half your life points is nothing. 2,000 for 5k beat stick. That is worth it. Now, Malefic Territory kind of changes the effect. So basically, when you activate this card, you activate one Malefic World from your deck. So it automatically gets you a field spell. So you want to open it or your field spell, because you need a field spell to do anything in this deck. Malefic Territory basically has it where neither player can target cards in the field zone section. So basically, your field zone is safe, your opponent's field zone is safe. You're not really going to attack their field zone, but that's basically the idea of this one. Then it basically changes the text of the Malefic monster on the field become There can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field with the same name, so then you can summon a Malefic Stardust, Rainbow, and Truth Dragon. You can have all three, but you can't have multiple Stardust Dragons on the field. Is how that is designed. Besides that, it basically has it where during the battle phase, it will negate the effects of all Malefic monsters. So unfortunately, that negates your Malefic Truth Dragon's effect. But the fact that all of your Malefic monsters, say if you have a Malefic monster, they cannot, other monsters can't attack, you can now attack with all three of your Malefic monsters. So very needed, but kind of sucks at the same time a little bit. You can still get your Truth Dragon's effect off. It's just a little harder and a little more risky. So besides that, our deck is running balance. So basically, if we have 6 spells, 6 traps, and at least 6 monsters, we will open up 1, 1, and 1, and then 1 random card. So we are running 3 Malefic Territory and 3 Malefic Worlds. We have a 100% chance of opening a Malefic World. We prefer having Territory for protection, but that may not always be the case. So we have traps. We have Malefic Claw Stream, which if you control a face-up Malefic monster, select one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. So it's good removal, nice, simple. They don't have to be face-up. It does not matter. It's a pretty good trap overall. Besides that, we're running Treacherous Trap Hole. It's pretty good. You're going to only open 1 trap, usually. And so being able to pop 2 cards of your opponent, or you can pop your own Malefic monster. You pop your Malefic gear after searching Truth Dragon. You can now summon your Truth Dragon. So they have their monster gone, your monster gone, and you have a Truth Dragon on your field. So very, very useful for that. And then because these are semi-limited and you only have 2, the 6th card I decided was Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and the reason being, if you open this and Malefic World and a Cosmic Cyclone in your Malefic World, you will lose every Malefic monster you control, unless you have this card set. Because when your field spell is being destroyed or targeted to be destroyed, you can chain this, flip this up. All dark monsters on the field or graveyard's effects are negated. So basically that sucks when Truth Dragon's in the grave because you can't bring him back. But when he's on the field or any of your Malefic monsters are on the field, they don't have their effects. So they will not be destroyed by their own effects. You don't even need Territory. You can now own multiple of them. Or actually, I think the ones in your hands won't be able to summon. But if you already had multiple, which I guess won't really matter too much. But yeah, they will stay on the field is the point of it. Plus, if you're versing another dark deck, you can affect their deck more than it affects you, because you have big monsters. They don't have effects. You're going to be winning this duel. Besides that, we were running 2 Malefic Paradox Dragons. When he's Synchro summoned, requires a parallel gear and 1 non-tuner Malefic monster. Basically, when he's Synchro summoned, you can select a Synchro monster in either player's graveyard, summon to your field. There can only be 1 face-up Malefic Paradox Dragon on the field. So that effect won't be negated. You can't you can't really summon more than 1 of a Malefic monster of the same name. Besides that, we're running 2 Stardust Dragons. We can use Paradox Gear to replace it when summoning Stardust, but having 2 is good in case you never draw your Paradox Gear. You're able to continuously summon out your Stardust Dragons. We use our gear more for our Rainbow Dragon. Besides that, we're running 1 Mistbird Colossus. Reason being, I don't think it'll come up very often, but you don't need to have a field spell to use Parallel Gear, and if you have your field spell Cosmic Cycloned before you can do anything with it, or something like that, you can normal summon Parallel Gear, and then use his effect to use your Paradox Gear, because he is a Malefic monster, to Synchro summon out a Mistbird Colossus. Doesn't come up too often. Still there. Assault Blackwing basically has it where you can Synchro summon with your Rainbow Dragon. And Malefic Parallel Gear, not really going to use this effect, but he can't be destroyed by card effects, so very, very... it's an option you have to be able to use. Alright, let's go to some gameplay. Alright, let's see here. So we want to send back anything that's not... So we're pretending we're going second, because this is not the best hand. We can't do anything really going first. Except for, like, wait. So we activate Territory, which will allow us to activate Malefic World from our deck. To hand. Truth Dragon's the one you don't really want to draw. Or you don't want to draw the Parallel Gear either. So we have Malefic Whirl on the field, on the hand. And then, so it's protected, so they cannot target it with card effects. Next we will banish, because we don't have parallel gear, we will banish our Stardust Dragon to summon our other Stardust Dragon. Very good, doesn't use anything in the deck. If we had Rainbow Dragon, we would not be able to summon it, so this one's a little better. And I'm thinking about putting back a third one, taking out Rainbow Dragon, but I like having the 4,000 ability. Plus he's a different name, which is nice, because you now have multiple. So we have him on the field, and if he's destroyed, we can summon our Malefic Truth Dragon, and then we set this card. And the cool thing about this is we end our turn, they can kill it, we summon Malefic Dragon, they don't kill it, our turn. Malefic World, basically instead of drawing, you choose 3 Malefic cards from your deck, and your opponent picks one, adds to your hand. They don't have to be a different name, so you, in this case, what card do I need? They go through their turn, they don't kill my guy. I need this card, so I reveal 3 Malefic Paradox Gears. This will be my draw. And then I will normal summon this on my turn. Tribute it, so it goes to the graveyard. And then from I will special summon this into defense position. And with my other one, I will search. I already have Truth Dragon in hand, so I don't need to search that. I need to search their monsters. Say, let's do Rainbow Dragon. Let's add this to hand. So if this is destroyed, we still get the search. We can't Synchro because of his effect. He has to be from the hand. We could have searched. I guess we could have searched the other Stardust and Synchro summoned. For this one, we're just going to summon our Rainbow. So we banish this from the grave to summon our Malefic Rainbow Dragon. So now we have a pretty good board. If any of these die, we summon Truth Dragon, and we have a 5k beat stick. So it's really, really good. So if they wall D, we lose our Stardust, we have a pretty good way out. Let's do one more hand. Sorry to rain outside. No, not recording. Okay, so we're going to trying to go first. So we're going to pretend this is our hand. This one goes back into the deck. Let's try a different one. Different hand. There we go. Monster, spell, trap. And then, doesn't matter, so we'll put this in the back. Bottom of the deck. Okay, here we go. This one's pretty simple. Activate Malefic World. You don't have protection for it. Then you special summon Malefic Stardust Dragon by banishing a Stardust Dragon. And then you have a Treacherous Trap Hole. The cool thing is this one's continuous, so it doesn't go to the grave. So the cool thing about this is you end your turn. If they Cosmic Cyclone, say they banish my Malefic World, when they go to do that, I activate Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and I still keep my Stardust Dragon. Alright, let's try one more. Okay, here we go. So this goes to the bottom of the deck. Here's our hand. This is a really, really good hand. Unfortunately, we don't have territory, but it's still workable. We activate that, we have the secondary protection. We normal summon our Paradox Gear. Tribute it, so we can special summon out our gear, and then we are going to add Truth Dragon to hand. The cool thing is this is pretty safe board. So basically, if our opponent turns, say they kill our Malefic World, so this is banished by Cosmic Cyclone. He stays in the field. They try to kill him, so he goes to the grave. You activate Truth Dragon's effect. You pay half your life points, special summon him. And then before he summons, you chain Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. So you have a 5,000 beat stick. Easy to get out. Let's see. Oh, what's this? Let's see. Face up field spell can be destroyed by effects. Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Okay, so when Stardust Dragon's on the field, he actually has an effect. I didn't realize that. There can only be one face-up monster in the field. Normal face-up field spell card. Face-up field spell cards cannot be destroyed by effects. Other monsters you control cannot declare attack. Cool. So basically, even if you don't have Malefic territory, he will protect your field spell. which is from Destruction. So that's pretty good. Cosmic Cyclone will still do the same, but you have that ability. There's nothing preventing you from summoning him still, so you can special summon him in attack position. Effects negated, so actually no, you can't do that. Because he realizes there's a Malefic monster in the field, so he can't summon himself right now unless we get territory. Because that will change the effect, because basically his name will prevent him from being summoned because he has there can only be one face-up Malefic monster. Alright, cool. So let's go to the next deck. Alright, so now we got Rainbow Dragon. Right now we have Rainbow Bridge, which is really, really good because it searches out any crystal, spell, or trap card from your deck to your hand. So it can search out your Crystal Raigeki, your Crystal Bond, which we only have one of. It can search out your Crystal Promise, Crystal Beckon, and the new card, Crystal Conclave. Now, Crystal Conclave is fantastic. I will run 3 of these in my next, in the Crystal Beast deck I'm going to be making soon. Basically, its effect is once per turn, when a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck. And the cool thing about that is it has another effect. You basically can run through all your Crystal Beasts to then summon out your Rainbow Dragons. Now, the cool thing about this card is it has the effect where you can target 1 Crystal Beast card, so it can be in your back row too, bounce it to your hand, and then you can bounce 1 card your opponent controls back to their hand by sending this card to the graveyard. So basically has really good disruption, which is really, really needed in Crystal Beast to actually get the plays going. Keeps out all of your crystal monsters, and has disruption. So that is very, very needed. Unfortunately, Malefic Rainbow Dragon does not count as an Ultimate Crystal God monster, so you cannot use him to tribute off for your fusion. If you're running it, you can still do it, but there's not really any good field spell right now. Besides that, we have Rainbow Refraction. By the time you summon out your Rainbow Dragon, you're not really going to have other Crystal Beasts in your deck, and you're not really going to want this anyway, so you'd rather have other cards. This card is not worth it. That's a really loud rain. Sorry about that for all the rain. This is the deck profile I'll come up with. I'm going to explain some of the cards in this one currently. You can look over the other ones later, but this is what I've come across. Playing basically 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. So basically, you want to open either your DD Swirl Slime, your Dark Contract with the Gate, or your, let's see, what's the last one? Or your Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Because any of these, if you get any of these 3 monsters, you can fusion summon in your first turn, which is needed because you only really get your monsters in the grave to Synchro summon by fusion summoning first. So basically, DD Swirl Slime has the effect where if this card is in your hand, you can fusion summon 1 DDD, yeah, that's right, DDD monster from your extra deck using cards from your hand as fusion materials. So basically you can use, including himself. So you can use him and any of your other DD monsters to fusion summon one of your fusion monsters. The cool thing about it is DD monsters also count as DDD monster. 3Ds is still count as a 2D monster because it says because they still have DD in their name. So fusion material for, like, example, this one where it has 2 DD monsters, you can still use a triple D monster to fusion summon it. Cool thing about this guy, that's loud thunder. Basically, so yeah, he can fusion summon, and then he has the effect where you can banish him from the graveyard, special summon 1 DD monster from your hand, and you only use each effect once per turn. So you can only fusion summon once with him, and then you can special summon out your Dragon King later, Pendragon later. So basically, besides that, we have our tuner, DD Night Howl. Basically, when he is normal summoned, you can target any DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can't summon anything else for the rest of the turn except fiends, which is fine because every card in this deck is a fiend. And then basically, that monster's attack and defense becomes 0, and if it's destroyed, you lose 1,000. You take 1,000 damage, but usually that'll be alright unless you're going second or later on. But if you're going turn 1, it does not even apply to it. So basically, you have him. He can bring back anything, so you summon back a level 7, then you Synchro summon to a level 10, and you are continuing your plays. Basically, you have DD Baphomet as well. If you don't have your level 7, he will count. Because basically, Night Howl doesn't negate effects. So when Baphomet is in the graveyard, and you summon him back with Night Owl, he has the ability to change another monster you control's level between 1 and 8. So you change your Night Owl into Night Owl into level 6, and you have a level 10 Synchro into your Gust King High Alexander. Basically, besides that, I basically found that the deck didn't. There's also Gust King Alexander, but I found its effect is very similar to Genghis. And plus, High King also has the effect that Genghis has. So whenever a monster special summoned, a DD monster special summoned, and he's on the field, you can summon a DD monster from your graveyard. So basically, except for High King has normal or special summon, so he's a lot more like usability. So basically, either Baphomet or your Dragon King can synchro with Night Owl to make your High King Gust High King Alexander. So basically, yeah, you have your level 7s, your level 7s. The one thing about these guys is you will summon this guy. He's very, very important. He's a DDD monster because you have some of your fusions require a DDD monster or 1 or 2, which you won't be able to use your smaller DD monsters. So basically, he's very important. Cool thing is, if he's in your hand, stuck in your hand, you can banish your slime to summon him, because his effect is not going to go off because you do not control any dragons in this deck. Basically, once per turn, you can discard 1 card, gains a 500 attack, and you can destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. And the effect lasts till the end of the turn. So basically, he's good back row removal, and he's a DDD monster, very important. Besides that, we have Dark Contract with the Gate. During your main phase, you can add any DD monster from your deck to your hand, so you can search your Slime, your Howl, your Baphomet. You're not going to search this, and then your Dragon King, because he is a DD. He's a DDD, but he has DD in his name, so he counts as a DD monster as well as a DDD monster. Very confusing, but yeah. Now the cool thing is Dark Contract with the Swamp King. This card is so good because basically it has it where during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Fiend-type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. You can use it once per turn, but if you're summoning a DD fusion monster, you can also use material from your graveyard. So basically it's very, very good. So if you summon a board, lose your board, you can then fusion summon into your Wave Oblivion King, which requires 2 DDD monsters, triple D monsters. So basically you have to use either your dragon or one of your other extra deck monsters to summon it. But he's very, very good. Besides that, I'm running 2 Sphere Karibos. These can be Hate Trinades, other kind of disruption, something, but I just thought Karibo would be alright since you set up a board and try to protect it and then go for game, because you have a lot of damage with this deck. Because basically you're going to turn 1, use your Slime, and send a level 7, so you send Pendragon or Baphomet to summon your Oracle King, the Arc, and then with those where they are, you normal summon a Night Owl to bring back whichever one you sent. Synchro summon into Gust High King Alexander, and then you can banish your Slime to summon your Dragon King Pendragon. And that will get you 3 DDD monsters on your field with decent attack stats. And the benefit about that is DDD Gust High King Alexander has the effect where if you have if there are 3 or more DDD monsters on the field, this card gains 3,000 attack. So he becomes a 6,000 attack monster. And if another DD monster is normal summon or special summon to your field while this monster is on the field, except during the damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this can bring back any of your DD monsters. None of them have restrictions. You can summon them back. You can summon back himself. You can summon back any of your fusion monsters, no matter what it takes to get them out. You can bring them back with this effect. Really good. Genghis, I think, has the same effect. Let's see. Genghis is more of a late game follow-up play because it takes 2 monsters to summon them, 2 DD monsters, and then if another DD monster is special summon, so it can't be normal summon, so special summon, so you use your Slime. Special summon to your field. While you control the face-up card, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, summon it. And basically if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can take 1 Dark Contract in your grave, add to your hand. So if you discard 1 off of Pendragon, you can get it back, or if they destroy it, which is really, really good. Unfortunately, all the Dark Contracts have the downside where if during your standby phase you will take 1,000 damage, which adds up a lot in Duel Links, except for the fact that if you control DDD, Oracle, King, D'Arc, any damage that will be inflicted, you gain instead. So if you have them on the field, and by the time you hit your standby phase, you will be gaining life and not losing from burning yourself to death. So we got those two, and then we have, let's go to, with the Genghis. Alright, next we have DDD, Dragonbane, King, Beowulf. This guy, one DDD monster, so you can fusion summon him off of like King Pendragon, and your slime can make him. It's pretty simple. Or use the fusion monster, not as likely. But his effect is basically if a DD monster you control attacks, a defense position monster inflict piercing damage to your opponent. That is good. You have 3 really big monsters that all have piercing now, so you are able to get through a lot of defensive plays. And also, basically, once per turn during your standby phase, destroy all cards in your spell and trap zones. Basically, you destroy all of your contracts before you have to pay the cost, so it gives you a little more play around if you can't afford to take the life point damage. Plus, it pops your opponent's back row, so by the time your turn's starting, you don't have to worry about back row, unless they negate his effect. Alright, so he just takes those 2 to summon. This one is fantastic. He's hard to get out, he's so big, but he takes 2 DDD monsters, so you have to fusion summon either with one of the 2 of these, using your Swamp Mirror, or your Swamp King, not Swamp Mirror. You can summon it with any of your 2 big extra deck monsters, or one of these and your dragon. That's why you need the dragon, so you can get this thing out. Basically, once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card, whether you attack them or they attack him, you can target one other DD monster or dark contract card you control, return it to the hand. And if you do, equip one face-up monster your opponent controls to this card, except the battling monster. So that means you can bounce back your contracts, so you don't have to pay the cost, but you still get the benefit. And then you equip one of their monsters to get a big boost. So that's very, very beneficial. And he's already 3,200 attack. So he's going to be swinging over a lot of things. And then if you can equip another monster, you can do a lot of damage with that. But yeah, so that's basically the deck. I'm going to show a little bit how it plays out and what kind of boards you can build with it. We'll see. But yeah, DD, Flame King, Genghis, it's really just designed to get your things back after they die. As well as like Gust King can do the same thing. That's why you run 2 of these. Because really big can get even bigger and then has the same effect, except you can normal summon or special summon. Alright, let's go to the gameplay. Unfortunately, D-Slime needs to be your first play, so it makes it a little harder. Here we go, Contract. So Contract, we grab the one piece we're missing, which is our Howl. Add the discard to hand. Slime's effect, send to grave. We have both of these, so we want to keep this in hand to summon it. So we send Berfomat to grave. To fusion summon out our both lower attack, so we can summon Genghis or D'Arc. Usually we'll summon D'Arc because Genghis is a better follow-up play to get back your monsters. So we summon out D'Arc, and then we summon Night Owl. Night Owl will special summon out a 0 attack and defense Berfomet, when defense because it's 0 attack and defense. We use his effect to change our Night Owl into a level 6. Then we, I don't know, it might have been Synchro summon into Gust High King Alexander. And now we use our Slime's effect in the graveyard, we banish it to special summon out our Dragon King Pendragon. So basically we can either, if it's turn 1, or it's not turn 1, but we can either keep our Kribo in hand, we can discard it to pop back row and he gains 500 attack. But the whole thing about this is our Gust King Alexander is a 6,000 attack monster because we control 3 DDD monsters. Very, very good. Let's try one more. Let's see if we can get one without Karibo. We're gonna shuffle back, just try to get a hand without Karibo. So we can show a little more like full combo. Karibo, why are you on every hand? That's usually good in games, but wow, really? Karibo back. Okay, there we go. So let's see what kind of board we can make of this. So we have Slime, Berfomat, and Howl. Okay, and then we have Dark Contract. So let's do, Because Dark Contract can use the Grave too. Oh, I forgot about that for the last video. For last play, I think. But cool. So we'll use that. Okay. So we're going to activate Dark Contract. Let's add. Let's see which one we use. I guess we'll add this to hand. We could, yeah, let's add that because we already have everything else we need. Then we'll use Slime. Add this one to fusion summon out our. Where's that one? Oh, yeah, this one. Beowulf. No, it's acquisition. There we go. Then we summon Night Howl. Oh, I meant to do something differently. Oh well, that's fine. Let's just summon him. Synchro summon out our Alexander. And we can activate Dark Contract to banish. Let's banish this one. This one. Our graveyard to fusion summon out this one. Or this one needs 2 DDD, so that won't work, so we'll use this one. And there we go. So we have we'll heal 2,000 in the standby phase. Actually, we'll blow them up first. But still, the idea is that if we lose them, we destroy all of them. If we destroy all the back row, we have 3 big monsters, 6,000 attack, and piercing. Good board. Alright, that's pretty cool. I love this deck. A lot of fusion summoning, a lot of plays. There's a lot more plays than what I'm explaining, but it's hard to show exactly because there's a lot like recurrence of Gus with your Genghis can bring things back, your Alexander can bring things back. There's a lot of recurrence this deck has, especially since the longer you keep these on the field, the more advantage you can get. So that's basically how the deck works. Maybe you'll play it a little differently, but this is how I see it after reading all of the cards. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of fusion-related video you would like to see. Or if there's anything else from the new box you want me to go over, I can try looking at them and going over them again. I didn't really like how Cyberse looked, but that's up to you guys. Thanks for watching. Keep fusioning. Let's go Slash.